Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about the Masterminds that I want to see added to Resident Evil Resistance. And to start off, if you have not checked out my Survivor list, I have that on my channel and I'll post a link in the description. I have a list pretty much similar to this one, describing all the different survivors that I would want to see added to the game. Now, I'm not going to be going through all the different abilities and everything that they could have, because that's, first of all, not my job, and second of all, it would just take a lot of time to speculate on what all these different masterminds could do. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into the list. Number 1, oh boy, everybody knows that my boy Wesker, Albert Wesker, has to make it into this game. I'm pretty sure most of you would agree with me that he is the best criminal, or not criminal, but like fucking villain in the Resident Evil franchise. He's been in so many of the games: Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5. I don't remember if he actually showed up in Resident Evil 6, but I know he was mentioned a bunch. He was in Resident Evil Darkside Chronicles and the Umbrella Chronicles, and yeah, Wesker's been in probably majority of the games, so yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong about some of those though. But yeah, obviously Wesker is going to make it into this game. I already made a video speculating on what Wesker could actually do in this game, which I did not do for any of these other masterminds. So if you want to check out that video, I'll put the link in the description for that as well. Number 2 would be Osmond Saddler. Saddler is the main big boss in Resident Evil 4. He is in charge of the Las Plagas and becomes a bioweapon himself. For the most part, he would be really cool to see in the game as well. Also, number 3, we have James Marcus. James Marcus was the main villain in Resident Evil 0. I don't really have a whole lot to say about him, other than, yeah, why not? Bring him into the game. Bring masterminds from all of the different Resident Evil games. That would be great. Then we have number 4, Sergei Vladimir, which he was the badass villain from Umbrella Chronicles. So it would be cool to see him in here as well. That was actually, like, that game wasn't that great, but it had some really cool cutscenes and stuff. So yeah, I would definitely want to bring him into the game as well. And then we have one of my more favorite ones, Jack KRAUSER. KRAUSER was a bioweapon for the most part in Resident Evil 4. He was less of a mastermind, so it might be more suiting for him to be a bioweapon for a different mastermind instead, which would also be really, really cool. I'd totally be down with that. I'll probably make a video on what bioweapons should be put into the game as well, so that'd be pretty interesting. So I think I'll do that after this video, probably. Next we have Javier Hidalgo. He is the one of the villains from Darkside Chronicles. So he, like I said, I don't really have a whole lot to say about some of these smaller ones, other than it would be a face and voice that they can put into the game. So yeah. And then we've got Jack Norman. Jack Norman was the villain from Revelations, so he would be another good one to put in. And then after that we have ALFRED ASHFORD. He's one of the more recognizable faces of the Resident Evil franchise. He's been in Darkside Chronicles and Code Veronica X for sure. I don't remember if he was in any other games though. Code Veronica X is the one that I remember him best from. And then we've got Derek C. Simmons. He is a very recognizable one. He's actually probably one of the more perfect ones to make as the mastermind, because he had this whole grand scheme of what he wanted to do in Resident Evil 6. So I think he visually and ideologically would be perfect to add into the game. And then after that we have Ramon Salazar, or Raymond Salazar, or however you say his first name. He was one of the main masterminds in Resident Evil 4. He controlled a lot of the different monsters and bioweapons, and he had those two badass monsters that always stood by his side, his left and right hand. So that would be really cool to see those guys in the game, along with this little pipsqueak of a little bitch in the game as well. So And then for the final one that I would want to see in the game, the Red Queen. The Red Queen is actually not in any of the games, but she is from the movie. The very first Resident Evil movie, which in my opinion was probably the only good one, other than maybe the second one that had Nemesis in it. But she was really cool and would be super interesting and pretty scary, if you ask me, if you want to add her into Resident Evil Resistance. Just like the fact that she's just automated, and like the only problem with that though is she would kind of have the same abilities as Spencer, because she killed a bunch of people in the movie using those red laser beams. But they could probably come up with something different to give her. But that one's kind of a long shot. I doubt they will put the Red Queen into the game, but it would be pretty creepy and pretty awesome if they did. That's just my opinion. So yeah, it kind of makes me want to go watch the original Resident Evil movie now, because it was actually not that bad, other than, you know, Alice being the main character, but the rest of the movie was actually pretty good. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this. Go check out my Survivors video and the Wesker video, and support me and by watching some of my other videos as well that might interest you. Just look through the library, why not? But yeah, other than that, if you like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Like the video, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Twitch TV/DeceiverGame. There are some other videos for you to check out. I'll see you next time.